The Basketball Hall of Fame 60 Days of Summer is your chance to see your favorite basketball stars live and in person. Check hoophall.com for a complete list of all these exciting appearances and plan your trip today.
I like it. Nice to see you, Teresa.
Thank you. Wake it up in here.
Yeah, we got some energy going now, don't we? Well, welcome.
Thank you.
This place is familiar to you.
Yeah, this is home now.
The Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You are. And
I shared with all these people, you know.
And you're up there somewhere, aren't you?
Yeah, I see me.
You can, yeah. Nice. I didn't tell you guys.
I'm sorry, look this way. I'm cuter today.
Yeah. 2010.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame inductee. Mm-hmm. A crowning moment, I'm sure. How often do you think about the fact that you're part of the Hall of Fame?
You try not to think about it too often because it's as high as you can go and then there's nothing left. So I become blank. So
there's got to be something.
But you know, just a thought of belonging to something bigger than you, and everybody that plays the game actually want to be right where I am is it's amazing. Because when I was young, I never knew I could ever exist in on a platform such as this and that big. It was
never a dream. Nothing you ever put on the wall.
No, for some reason, no. I just, you know, I was one of those kids. One day at a time, I just wanted to be great at it. And I was the only girl with 4 brothers, so I really just wanted to be great at it.
Now everybody hopefully has some kind of a title that maybe identifies them outside of their self. You're a Hall of Famer. I mean, that's got to be a real cool thing to say. Or have someone introduce you.
Well, it matters not to my brothers. So
no, you still got some work left.
I mean, say that again.
The fact that you have a title of Hall of Famer, I mean, it's got to be a real cool thing when someone identifies.
It is the absolute coolest. I mean, you can introduce yourself as a Hall of Famer. People immediately can relate to it. They immediately look at you differently. The only thing I don't like about it, it makes you feel old. But
no, well, you've had a great deal of success, you know, throughout your career in basketball. In particular, you've played in 5 different Olympic Games.
Yes.
And if my facts are correct, first American to play in 5 Olympics.
Yes, I was the oldest and the youngest, and the first. Yes.
Well, the nature of the Olympics, that will.
I don't think anyone has caught me yet, but they're definitely on my tail.
Okay. Well, keep some distance. 4 gold medals, 1984, 1988, 1996, and 2000.
Yes.
Somewhere in there was a bronze.
There's a bronze, 1992.
Okay. Any of those Olympic gold medal journeys more special than another?
I always say all of the medals are special, and 84 because I was the absolute youngest player on the team. And I had no idea where I was. I had no idea the magnitude of the Olympics. And I didn't understand that scope, that world scope that it encompassed. And I was a kid in a candy store when I got there. I was very fortunate to make the team with Cheryl Miller, Lynette Woodard, Pat Head Summit was the coach. And, you know, they made me carry the water cooler. So, you know, I had to be the first one in sprints and the last one to lead the gym. And, I mean, I went through the entire spectrum of being a rookie in 1984. So that one I'll never forget. And then I didn't play. I just pretty much sat on the bench, worked my tail off in practice, played about 2 minutes in a game. Would be up about 30 points. And I'd look down there going, come on, coach, I can't possibly lose the game for us right now. So, and that experience propelled me into the second Olympics, and that medal was special because I told myself I got to get off the bench, I got to play, I want to be on the floor, I want to be important to the team victories, and so I worked really hard to be that type of player for our '88 team, and we went to Seoul, Korea, and that was with Coach Yao, who was like a mother figure out of this world, and you didn't want to lose for her. And then '92, I got the big head. Yeah. We kind of got the big head. We'd won gold back-to-back, and we were doing really well in the world, and I think we slipped up, and the Russians got us. But we came back. We got really mad, and '96 was probably the life-changing experience for women's basketball as a whole. So that goal stands out and shines a little brighter.
Life-changing, how so?
Well, we played in such a fashion that we somehow had Americans looking at us for the first time on our soil as professional basketball players. And we wanted to impress them so much so that we could play professionally here. And I'd been playing abroad professionally for many years prior to 1996. So the opportunity was hanging in the air that the NBA would allow us and then to have a professional league if we performed well enough. And we did. We were undefeated for an entire 12 months prior to the Olympic Games and came out unscathed and brought home the gold once again.
Interesting, you mentioned we talk about the gold medals, the Olympic teams, and you're the most decorated USA basketball player ever with your resume, but then you have to go overseas for 6, 7, 8 years, playing in places like Italy, Japan, Spain, France. I mean, that in itself, though, has to give you a great perspective, further perspective on the world.
Well, at that time, that's all we had. Most of these kids wouldn't know me. We need to put a highlight tape up so they can see how good I really was. But at the time, there wasn't many female athletes to look up, female basketball players for me to model my game after. And so when I came out of college in '86, there wasn't a women's professional basketball league here, and you had to go overseas to become a professional to get paid to play the game as a woman. And I took the first thing came my way.
Sure.
So that began my international career. And I was very, very thankful to even have that because I never knew that I could actually get paid for playing something I love so much. And I just really loved playing the game. And then the thought of somebody said, "You're going to pay me?"
Yeah.
So I was on the first flight over that I could get on.
Yeah.
Wasn't that much, but it was enough.
Now, I know you had the opportunity when you're inducted into the Hall of Fame, you have an opportunity to give a speech, to talk, to share a message. And I know one of the things that you touched on was thanking the women before you, the pioneers, the girls who had made it possible for you to get that far.
Exactly.
That's near and dear to your heart.
It is because we didn't have an opportunity. I can remember sitting overseas many days, and no one knows this, but the parents here, that there was the rotary dial telephone system. There was not cell phone. There wasn't internet of any sort at that time. And, to play overseas, to have the opportunity to play overseas, I was so thankful because I knew of the great players, especially the international players, the players that played on our Olympic team, former teams prior to my play. And I knew how great they were. I've seen the tapes. And I'd run into these women along the way, along the journey of playing in my games. And I really didn't know who they were until I went back and did the research and to look for them. Then I realized some women played in skirts. Some women played 6-on-6 and they couldn't really run. They could only pass, or one could only shoot. And when I realized how far the game had really came, and I hadn't had, any obstacles in my way, that they paved that. I realized that what they did really paved the way, and I just never wanted to forget. And I don't want anyone that actually plays the game or anyone that acknowledges women's basketball to ever forget that. It wasn't the way it is today. Someone paved the way. Someone told those women no, they shouldn't play. Someone told those women they weren't able to, or their bodies couldn't do it, or they wouldn't be able to have children, or they gave them all these excuses that now we're having babies and going right back out on the court. So it's like, I don't want to forget what they gave up to allow me to be the best that I could be, to just flourish and get the greatest joy of my life.
The game's come a long way. Now we have Teresa Edwards, we have a lot of kids here. I'd like to ask you, how old were you when you started playing basketball, and what did you enjoy most playing as a kid?
I can't remember how old I was when I first started because I played everything. I played football, I played softball, I ran track. I did everything. I stayed outside. I'm a country girl. The parents, you wake up in the morning in the summertime, they said, go outside, and you have to figure it out. You got to figure out what are you going to play. You're going to pull all the kids together in the neighborhood and create a band. You're going to pull all the kids together in the neighborhood and, play a game. You're going to play marbles. You're going to climb trees. You're going to run through the woods. You're going to find something, the way I grew up in the South, and to take that time of hours outside, or you're just going to sit up on a shade tree and try to be cool, but you're going to figure out something to do as a kid. So I can't tell you the age I really got serious. Really started playing, because I started playing everything. But when I realized that out of all the activities I was doing outside every day with my brothers and the boys in the neighborhood and a few girls that were running around, when I realized my best bet was I could beat them in basketball, that's when I said, this is my sport.
Yeah.
Because they beat me in everything else. They could run faster and jump higher and all that, but they couldn't put the ball in the hoop. So, I'm sorry, junior high school is really when I took it serious.
Okay.
So at 12 or 13, I began to take it really serious.
So at some point you kept getting better and better, and then an opportunity comes up at the State High School Player of the Year in Georgia.
Yep.
And then that leads to an opportunity at the University of Georgia to play in college.
Mm-hmm.
And that,
Yeah.
So that, I mean, one wonderful experience there.
Really, and it was amazing. As growing up, you don't know if, I'm from a small town, and I keep repeating that, and it's in the South, and you don't think people will find you when you're in those remote areas like that. And I never really thought about it, but when I speak to a lot of kids, it's like, how will they find me? And I'm thinking, well, I don't know. They found me, and if you're good, they're going to find you. If you're working hard on your game and you're notable and you're putting it in, and it's going to show. When it shows, people are going to talk. When people talk, they're going to make a pathway to you. So that happened to me. Coming from that small, let me go back a little. I want the kids to know, when I was small in your age, I didn't have the basketball goals. I didn't have a nice basketball court. My first basket was shooting in a trash can with my brothers, trying to play football to get to the basket before we probably knocked the trash can down before we got there. But we played most of our games with a balloon ball, 99-cent ball from the grocery store in a trash can. And from that, me and my brother actually scaved the woods behind our house, and we found the old bicycle rim. We nailed that to my grandmother's pine tree in the front yard, and that's when I really felt like I had a basketball goal. For that reason alone, I had the flattest shot in the world. You can't shoot with an arc on your shot on a pine tree, so my shot would be so flat. And when I went to Georgia, Coach Landers tried to change that shot, and I missed. I was like, I can't do that. And he said, I'm going to leave it alone. Thank God he did, because the flat shot kept going in for me. But, just understanding my background and how hard I had to work, and there's no way I can see a Hall of Fame entry. There's no way I can see it, even in Olympics, shooting through a bicycle rim, but that's what happened. What
happens. Funny things happen when you work hard and enjoy it. Beyond college, you had an opportunity to play professionally in the States, and then the NBA, WNBA, a little later on. I mean, there are tremendous opportunities now. I mean, it's kind of night and day, even 15 to 20 years later, for female players as good as yourself.
Oh, there's ample room for everybody now,
Yeah.
and I think it's because of how fast the game has grown. And I think this new generation of players now will never know what it is not to have, because everybody's now is growing up into the TV world of it, the marketing world of it, and this is where we work. This is what we worked so hard for as pioneers of the game. Now we wanted women's basketball to be represented the way it's represented today. So it's created more and more opportunities for women to advance into men's basketball, as
Sure.
we've seen, and things of that nature. So the world it really is a lot bigger, and a lot more opportunities out there for women.
Currently, you are involved with coaching at the coaching level?
No, I was last
were.
summer, but now no.
And what have you enjoyed about coaching, and what do you enjoy most about?
What I enjoy about coaching the most is just being in the gym. I love being in the gym with gym rats, people that are aspiring to be really good about what they do. I love feeling what it feels like to compete. I love winning. I love being around basketball players who love to just compete and win, even if you know how the guys are. Even if they can't beat you, they still think they can
Sure.
beat you. I love that. And I love finding that in young women that are excited about the game. So that's what I like about coaching. It's just the heart and joy of being in the gym, putting in the work. What I don't like is all the traveling and all the little sitting in an office trying to figure out the scouting and all that. That's a little tedious, but it's part of the game.
Yeah. If people have not seen you play, or maybe don't remember what your game was like, were your skills comparable to someone who may be visible now, one of the stars in the WNBA?
Now?
Could you say, geez, look what she does, look how she plays, that's a little like what I did?
Oh, probably the one that I see that's most comparable is Maya Moore.
Okay.
Type of style. That's how I was. And
She's
then
a Georgia girl, right?
Yeah, she's got some Georgia juice in her legs. Yeah, she's the open court, and the way she plays and the way she releases her shot kind of reminds me the things I used to do on the court.
Yeah. Neat.
Yeah.
We're going to take a chance here. We know we've got a lot of kids here. You guys might have some questions. We're going to give you an opportunity. We'll have some of the Hall of Fame staff come around. If you have a question you'd like to ask for Teresa Edwards, just raise your hand, and one of the guys on staff will direct you over here to the corner, and we'll give you an opportunity to ask a question for Teresa. We'll call you, we'll line you up, and then we'll have a nice conversation up here.
Oh, okay.
Any advice for kids, just if they're interested in basketball, they know a little bit about it, their older sister or older brother might play?
Well, this age, I say you should just enjoy it. I'm happy to see kids at this age in the gym seeking to just toss the ball at the rim. The joy of watching them actually having one go through the net and what that feels like with them. I don't like to give strong advice on techniques.
Yeah.
Because I want them to just have fun and feel that thrill of being able to go, hey, I can't wait to get back in there again. So I think, and for young ladies at this age, I think it's important that they get a lot of support from their parents and their friends and their family when they feel that bug on the inside that draws them back and forth to the gym. Allow that to happen and support it, and allow them to, you know, just release all the joy they have for what they have inside of them so they can be the best that they can be. Because sometimes it's not just basketball. This is just an avenue to something else in life.
Yeah. Now, mentors, whether parents or coaches, older siblings are so important, you know, in life and in basketball in particular. It's my understanding your mom is pretty high on that list for you.
Oh, my mom is the greatest. My mom never dribbled a ball in her life, but she was the biggest support ever. And when I first started to play, she didn't really believe I could play. I don't know why, but she didn't believe I could play. So I kind of had to lie to my mother to try out for my junior high school basketball team and sneak out for like 3 days and tell her I was helping a school teacher when I was actually trying out for the team. And then the lie came to a big halt when I needed a pair of sneakers.
Ooh.
No. So when I finally had to tell her, you know, I made the team and I needed a new pair of sneakers, she kind of put up a fit for lying, but she bought me my first and only pair of sneakers she's ever had to buy. She was never not there at any game I had to play.
Fantastic. She must be incredibly proud as well.
That's my girl. She's still my girl today.
Awesome. Awesome. Now we're going to open it up. I think we have the longest line in 60 Days of Summer history for Q&A.
Let's see how much they know.
Yeah. So we'll come on out. We'll go one by one. We have an opportunity to ask a question for Teresa Edwards. Just come on up close. You can tell us your name and where you're from.
My name's Cadell, and I'm from Worcester, Massachusetts. What's the most amount of points that you dropped in a game?
Most amount of points I dropped in a game was in Japan, and I dropped 62. 62
points. And that's before the conversion, the money. No,
yes.
62. Thank you. Good question. 62 points. Next question. Did it feel like 62?
It didn't feel right. I didn't feel right. My teammates didn't get to shoot much, but it felt a little selfish, but we won.
Good for you.
Which hoop behind you did you first make a real basketball in?
Say that again?
In which hoop did you make a real basketball in?
In which hoop did you make a real basketball in? Do you mean by some of these hoops here, some of these basketball? Oh. You're gonna date yourself here too.
Where did I begin shooting, huh? Well, that reminds me of my pine tree, the wood backboard there, but I didn't shoot off of that. But that was like shooting off of a tree. And then I graduated. It progressed for me. Yeah, I've scored on all of those.
Yeah, you probably hit all of them.
All of those but the basket.
Yeah, there you go. Very good question. Very good question. Thank you. That's an original.
You're famous.
Hello, my name is Javier, and I'm from Worcester. How many points did you make in your career?
Ooh, I don't remember. That's a lot of points. You meant professionally, internationally? I don't understand that one because even if I did, I wouldn't know. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. You got a lot to add up.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
My name is Tristan, and I was born in Worcester. My question is, how did you become a basketball Hall of Fame? How did you become a Hall of Fame person?
Okay, that's a good question. I think it was inside of me, honestly, Tristan. I think what happened for me was in junior high school, once I made the junior high school team, I took it so serious. I began to put all my energies into it. And once I realized that it was something that brought me a lot of joy and I wanted to be great at it, I studied the game tremendously. I listened to my coaches. I took the best I could take from the best coaches. I even learned from my coaches that I should leave the bad from them and take the good and keep moving, because I played for a lot of different coaches. And even when I wasn't with my teams, I played a lot pickup games. I just never was a kid that sat idle or followed the wrong crowd. I was somebody that you would find all my friends at a club or all my friends doing something crazy, you'd find me at the courts. And I loved it that much, and nothing really stopped me. And I think, not thinking about the Hall of Fame, but was thinking about being better today than I was yesterday, made me a great player, and I ended up here.
Good job. Tristan, great question. Great question. More questions for Teresa Edwards?
Hi, I'm Michael Lachu. Were you really good at dunking?
At dunking? Yes. When they lowered the goal for me, yes, I was great at it. No, it's not often that you'll find a female player dunking at the 10 feet height here. So we got Brittany Griner doing it now like as easy as ever. I think everybody's always wanted to see women dunk, and all of a sudden when you see the dunks, it only happens once or twice a game anyway. But I did have an opportunity to do it when it was around about 7 feet high.
All right.
It felt great.
It's a one-of-a-kind feeling. Thank you. Nice question.
My name is Jaylon. I'm from Worcester, Massachusetts. How many games did you ever win?
I have a great winning percentage. Let's go with international. I think I'm in the 80s, 80-something, about 82%, 86%.
82%.
Yeah. So you don't want to play me, man. I'm good.
She's probably good at everything.
Thanks,
checkers and everything. 82% is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Look at the smile.
Hey.
My name is Jocelyn. How do you play so well?
How do I play so well? I'm just good at it. No, I play so well because when I'm out here, I call it when I step over this line, see that? I'm outside the line. I'm just a fun kid to have, make jokes, blah, blah, blah. I have a lot of fun, both sides of the line. Now I jump here, my mind goes straight to the basket. All I think about is how to get that ball in the hoop and how to get around somebody. That's a different type of fun for me. That's how it happened. Outside the line, I'll play hopscotch and jump rope with you. Here, I'm going to score in that basket no matter what it takes.
Thank you, Jocelyn. You put the game face on.
Yeah.
The game face. Yeah.
My name is Angel, and did you ever play with a man?
Oh my God, great question. Yes, very much so. As I said, grew up around a lot of boys, and at my time, there wasn't a lot of girls. You couldn't find a court full of girls to play pickup basketball with when I was growing up. It was only boys playing pickup. And a lot of times the guys would shoo you away, and you just have to kind of stick around till they finally say, hey, you want to play. There's going to be one day where they say, shoot, there's only 9 of us. We need one more. Then that's the girl. Then I finally got on the court. Once I got on the court the first time, the guys actually started choosing me to play. And for the rest of my life, my training, all I did was train with guys. Now girls don't have to do that anymore, but when I was younger, all we had was most of the guys, they were never shy about playing pickup games. Girls, we've always been kind of shy. So we could never gather 10 girls on the court. But now it's a different time. But my entire career was spent playing with guys.
Thank you, Angel. Good question. And I'm sure it helped make you as good as you are.
It made me very good.
Another Jordan shirt coming up.
Hi, my name is Damien, and I'm from Worcester. And which team did you play on?
Oh, I played on a lot of different teams. Let's see. High school, I played in Cairo. College, I played with University of Georgia. From there, I played on all these professional teams abroad. You wouldn't even know in the back of your mind if I told you. Then I played on our international teams. I played on all the Olympic teams, the world championships. I'm an old woman, man. I played for everybody. I don't know who I didn't play for.
She got that covered. Thank you, Damon.
Hi, my name's Angeli, and I just wanted to ask you, who are you inspired by to play basketball?
Great question. You know what? I was very good at being self-motivated. You know that? It's going to be a boring answer, but I was a self-motivated individual. I wanted to play great for myself, and then all of a sudden, I realized I wanted something out of my play, and I wanted it to take me somewhere, and I'd look at my mom, and I'd say, you know what? I want it for my mom. I got to make my mom proud of me. So I started playing so hard just to make my mom proud of me, and all of a sudden, I started noticing that there's these great people that really plays the game. And the one person that really had a chance to model my game after, which I never did, but I wanted to, was Julius Erving. See the guy with the net, big afro, number 32? That was my man.
Dr. J.
Dr. J.
Thank you. Very good question. You are very popular. A lot of questions.
My name is Madeline, and did you had good experience being a basketball player?
I had the greatest experience in the world. I wish I could start over right now and do it again. It is the greatest joy of my life, and I always think I had a gift to play the game. I found my gift at a very early age in life, and I'm so happy I did. And so when I speak to kids like you, I ask you to search and find that gift inside of you. And if it's inside of you, you got to play it.
Well done. Thank you, Madeline. Nice job. Good question.
My name is Shanti, and what made you pick basketball out of all the sport you used to play?
Great question. Because I could beat my brothers and all the boys in the neighborhood big time with basketball. They couldn't beat me in basketball, and I said, this is it. This is the one I want. I'm going to stick with it.
Good. Good question. Good answer.
My name is Kiana, and when did you officially join the basketball team?
I was a 7th grader. I made the junior high school team. It's the first time I ever played formal basketball. I think I was about 12.
All right. Kiana, thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Very good questions. Great questions. Teresa Edwards, final question for you. We talked about how special this Hall of Fame is for you. What emotions do you feel when you come to the Hall of Fame?
I feel like history has caught up with me. I feel as if the Hall has allowed my game to be recognized in a place in the highest of the land, and that my game will always have my name associated with it, and there will always be a place where you can find me even when I'm gone. It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, great answer. Great answer.
Yeah.
And we wish the best to you. You guys have been a great audience. You've been patient. Great questions.
Thank you.